5 slogans to avoid negative thoughts. Replace "I can't" with "I will try. Every small step counts." Your mind is a garden plant. Positivity: weed out negativity. Focus on what you can control. Let go of what you can't. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. Keep moving forward. You are stronger than your doubts. Believe in yourself. Rahul was an average student in a small town in India. He wasn't the brightest in his class, nor was he the most athletic. He often felt like he was stuck in the shadows, constantly comparing himself to his peers. His grades were mediocre, and his confidence was even lower. Every time he looked at his report card, he felt a sinking feeling in his chest. Why can't I be as smart as Rohan? He would think. Why can't I be as popular as Priya? These thoughts haunted him day and night, and slowly they began to consume him. One day, after receiving yet another disappointing test score, Rahul decided he had had enough. He walked home with his head down, his shoulders slumped, and his heart heavy. He felt like a failure, and the negative thoughts in his mind were louder than ever. "You're not good enough," they whispered. "You'll never succeed. Why even try?" As he reached home, he found his grandfather sitting on the porch, sipping tea and enjoying the evening breeze. His grandfather, a wise and gentle man, noticed Rahul's dejected expression. "What's troubling you, beta?" he asked, patting the seat next to him. Rahul hesitated but eventually sat down. He poured out his heart, sharing all his insecurities and fears. "I feel like I'm not good at anything, Dada. No matter how hard I try, I always fall short. I don't know what to do anymore." His grandfather listened patiently, his eyes filled with understanding. When Rahul finished, his grandfather smiled and said, "Come with me. I want to show you something." Curious, Rahul followed his grandfather to the small garden behind their house. In the corner of the garden was an old, rusty lantern. It was covered in dirt and looked like it hadn't been used in years. His grandfather picked it up and handed it to Rahul. "What do you see?" he asked. Rahul frowned. "It's just an old, broken lantern. It's useless." His grandfather chuckled. "Is it? Let's clean it up and see." Together, they wiped away the dirt and polished the lantern until it gleamed. His grandfather then lit a small candle inside it. To Rahul's amazement, the lantern glowed brightly, casting a warm, golden light across the garden. "See, Beta," his grandfather said, "this lantern was always capable of shining. It just needed a little care and attention. The dirt and rust were like the negative thoughts in your mind. They clouded its true potential. But once we cleared them away, the light within could shine through." Rahul stared at the lantern, his mind racing. His grandfather continued, "You are like this lantern, Rahul. You have so much potential. But once we cleared them away, the light within could shine through." Rahul stared at the lantern, his mind racing. His grandfather continued, "You are like this lantern, Rahul. You have so much potential, but your negative thoughts are like the dirt and rust. They hide your true strength. If you want to shine, you need to clear them away." "But how, Dada?" Rahul asked. "The negative thoughts keep coming back." His grandfather smiled. "It's not easy, but it's possible. Here's what you can do. Acknowledge the thoughts, but don't let them control you. When a negative thought comes, recognize it, but don't dwell on it. Say to yourself, this is just a thought, not the truth. Focus on your strengths. You may not be the best at everything, but you have your own unique talents. Find them and nurture them. Surround yourself with positivity. Spend time with people who uplift you and avoid those who bring you down. Take small steps. You don't have to achieve everything at once. Celebrate every small victory along the way. Believe in yourself. Remember, you are stronger than your doubts. Trust that you have the power to overcome any challenge." Rahul listened intently, feeling a glimmer of hope for the first time in a long while. He decided to follow his grandfather's advice. The next day, he started small. Instead of focusing on his low test score, he celebrated the fact that he had improved by 2 marks compared to the last test. It wasn't much, but it was progress. He also began to spend more time with his friend Arjun, who always encouraged him and made him laugh. Slowly, Rahul started to notice the things he was good at. He realized he had a talent for drawing and began to sketch in his free time. It gave him a sense of accomplishment and joy. As the weeks went by, to do was believe in himself and keep moving forward. From that day on, Rahul made a promise to himself. He would never let negative thoughts dim his light again. He knew there would still be challenges, but he also knew he had the strength to overcome them. Moral of the story: life is full of ups and downs, and it's easy to get bogged down by negative thoughts. But just like the lantern, we all have a light within us that can shine brightly if we let it. By acknowledging our strengths, surrounding ourselves with positivity, and taking small steps forward, we can overcome self-doubt and achieve our dreams. Remember, you are stronger than your doubts. Believe in yourself, and you will shine.